Hey everybody, it's Steve Young, co-founder of Service Tech Secrets, and I am super excited today to have our next client success story, which is Scott Bidwell. And Scott, welcome to the video. I appreciate you showing up today and providing us your success story.
Absolutely, Steve. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So if you would, just take a minute, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what's your company.
So I'm Scott Bidwell, out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. One Source Home Services is the name of our company. We do heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical, and a lot of other stuff as well. So it's an and more situation.
Got it. Currently, how many people do you employ, approximately?
We currently employed roughly, we're right just under 100 employees right now.
Holy cow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Where was it a year ago? Do you remember how many you had a year ago?
A year ago from today, man, it was 10, 15.
10 or 15 employees.
Yeah, we ended 2019 with 43 employees.
Wow, that is huge growth. That is fantastic. So if you don't mind me asking, what do you think you're going to do what did you do in the trailing 12 months in gross sales?
In 2019, we ended with $7.5 million as a company.
Okay.
We set a huge target to do 15 million, to double in size for 2020. And right now we're currently pacing 20 million for the year. So
wow,
I think we're going to blow that out of the water too, Steve.
Hang on a second. Wait a second. So COVID-19 comes about and there's all of these shops that are shutting down. Oh my God, we don't have any business. Oh my God, we can't get into homes. Oh my God, the world is falling. What are you guys doing?
Breaking records. No, it's a mindset thing, Steve. You go, everybody, tends to have that, bottled up mindset. And the minute this stuff started, we as a company just said, we're not going to participate. We're not going to allow everybody else's minds or the country's minds to drag us down. Clients still need us. We're in the businesses that are essential. So they still need us. They still need their preventative maintenance on their systems. They still need their entire operational systems of their heating, their plumbing, their cooling. I mean, imagine life without either one of those systems.
Right.
If you couldn't flush the toilet in your home, especially now that we're all cooped up in our homes, right?
Yeah.
You need it even more right now. So that's the mindset, we kind of drilled in from day one, and we just continue to say, hey, we're powering forward, going through it. And we're going to continue to grow through this, through everything that's going on.
That is awesome, man. And that's an amazing story. You went 7.5 last year. You're going to do over 20 this year. Wow, that's almost tripling your business. That is amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's break it down. First of all, I want to talk just a minute about the picture beforehand. You told me you had about 10 employees about a year ago. What was life like a year ago before you got into our training? What was your business like? What was the mindset of your techs like? And what was your average tickets? Let's talk about your average ticket sizes. So if you would just go ahead and touch on those for me, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, average ticket is something that is huge in our business, in our industry, and capitalizing on every single opportunity. So your average ticket and your conversion rate, those are both two huge things that a lot of companies don't track. I could say probably last year at this time, this is not even something, I mean, we were paying attention to it. We knew what it was. We weren't tracking it. We weren't even paying attention to it. We signed up for Service Tech Secrets in, I want to say August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And have been rolling through since August, and I enrolled 19 techs in that program. And excuse me, you'll have to edit that out, Steve.
No worries.
We enrolled 19 techs in the program, and they went hot and heavy for the first 8 weeks. We did the 8-week live and rolled all the way through that, and then kind of each of the techs kind of took on and did their own thing. But we got what we needed out of the program for that time frame. I had technicians that were, we were already good.
Yeah.
But I had technicians that went from good to great. And I had some technicians that went from good to fucking unstoppable, Steve. I had some techs that, and there's some of the products that, we didn't even think about offering, we started offering and selling. So it's been a huge win for us.
That's awesome. I know when we first met, you said, what's your average service ticket? What's your average maintenance ticket? And you wouldn't even I went back and I looked at my notes from over a year ago, August last year, and you wouldn't even tell us what it was. You were just like, it's too low. It's too low.
It sucks. Yeah. It sucks. That was the answer.
Yeah.
We had a lot of new people at the time,
Mhm.
and that hadn't gone through training, and we couldn't train them fast enough. So this was a great opportunity to throw them all in, dump them into a bucket, and get the same uniform training throughout the entire company. And it really, it obviously helped. Some technicians just didn't pick it up and run with it, and some just took it to the next level. So
Yeah.
it's been good.
And what do you think that is? The success with some and not with others. What would you equate that with?
Man, it's going to be mostly the success of some and the failure of others comes with the same thing with everything, just like life.
Yeah.
Those who participate are going to succeed, and those who don't participate and don't do the role playing and think it's kind of a joke or whatever, those are the ones that you're just not going to make it, man. It's not, all training isn't for everybody, and every trainer doesn't drive with every person.
Sure.
And everybody might need that extra little thing, but it's just some people just aren't trainable either. You can't coach them.
Right.
Or they won't allow you to coach them. They're probably coachable. They just won't allow you to coach them. Like, they think they're too good for this next level training and stuff like that. But those that relieved the mindset and just went with the training and allowed it to sink in, even the guys that didn't, that turned the corner a little bit and it increased their income a little bit, even those guys, you could see that, going through the training processes, it made a difference in their lives. Even I've had some people have left the company after going through the training. They still text me today and they're like, hey, I just want to say, the stuff that you guys have done as a company, how you guys operate the company, and the trainings that you guys constantly do, it's been super amazing and life-changing for me. So, that's what we're all about. We want to change lives, whether it be inside the inside of training and inside our company, or even once people leave our company. We want them to succeed and do better in life.
That's fantastic. One of the things I notice about your people when I interview them, and you do have some superstars, and it's awesome to see their crazy success. I mean, let's just take a look at the low end. Low end, you said maybe the guys have, it's helped them, it's changed their lives. Could you say that it's safely doubled their average ticket? Or would that be safe to say, or not really?
It all depends on the participation level. For the average participant, that kind of just go through the program and go through the motions, they are increasing their income and they are increasing their average ticket. You have to participate and you have to put time in and effort in.
Sure.
You can't it's not a program you can roll through and just listen to it once and say, hey, I've got it and good.
Right.
You got to participate and you got to go through the process.
You got to do the work, right?
You got to do the work. You got to do the work.
Yeah. And for the guys that have done the work, I mean, what are some of the higher end techs doing and make as far as income that they're making for your company?
I got 3 or 4 technicians it's a race every month to who gets to $100,000 in tickets first. It's not whether they're selling 100,000, it's who gets there first.
What kind of income does that provide for them on an annual basis? Roughly?
Oh, easily 150 plus.
Yeah.
150,000 plus. I don't have my top 6. None of them are making less than 150,000.
Wow, that is great. That is so awesome. I'm so excited for you guys. One of the other things I noticed is the morale when I talk to your people. I mean, they love your company. There's very few owners that I talk to where the people love the company, are passionate and so loyal to you and the company that you're building over there. It's freaking amazing. And you can just see it when you talk to them and they're beaming.
I'm super honored that you say that. That's awesome.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I can't believe how they just like, it's the company first. How do you create that culture in your business? What are you doing to get these guys love you and the company and be so loyal and so passionate?
Every day we beat them with a baseball bat and make them no. Way we get, the culture around our company is always one for all and all for one. We're very, we serve first. We try, this has just been who we are, who my brothers and I are. And it's also, it's what we train daily about. It's, hey, what, we're out there to provide a service to our clients. We're going to go out there and work as a team to get it done. We have a no man left behind mentality. For instance, hey, if one of your brothers are out there still at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, call and ask if you can help in some way or another. And we do a lot of team stuff as well. I mean, we actually, I don't know if you knew it, if anybody mentioned it to you or not, Steve, but we actually did a fire walk for my team in February as a celebration. I hired a professional fire walk expert. They came out to our office, laid everything out, and we walked across fire together. So, I mean, I think it's that kind of stuff that brings
Wow,
it
that
all
is
around,
awesome.
right?
You're doing the Tony Robbins Firewalk thing, man. That's
Hell
pretty
yeah,
awesome.
that was awesome. And it was a super fun event too. So we had a great time with that.
And somebody said something the other day. I think it was that you had bought a tool, an expensive tool, and you had given it to him. And it's something. Was it? Didn't you do that recently? You bought a tool to somebody and you gave it. Was that you?
Yeah, one of my installers has been posting pictures on his personal Facebook page about his installs, and I pop on every once in a while and say, "Hey, that looks good. How can we do it better?" And then he thought he was really super proud of this install, and I said, "Hey, that looks good, but look at the line. Said, where can we improve that?" And he said, "Man, I need a set of benders." So I said, "Okay, cool." And this guy's a helper, so we're training him from ground nothing, right?
Yeah.
But he's super proud. He's a super hard worker, and I realized that. And I said, I told my install manager the next morning. I said, "Hey, go get Adam a set of tools. Go get him a bender, and give it to him, and tell him, let's keep improving."
Yeah.
And that's our mentality. How can we be better every day than we were yesterday?
That right there, it speaks volumes. And the same thing with the training. When you came on board with us, you said, look, I'm going to provide you with the best tools available for you to help as many customers as possible. And I remember your guys, I see your guys on the training, 19 of your guys in the training, with bated breath, and the smart ones would get up and volunteer and role play with Gene, and that's just amazing. That's investing in your company. I can tell between when your people need something, you take the time, you invest in them, and you show them that you care. And by doing that, man, you're building a culture that is unstoppable. You can tell me who else could grow 300% in the course of a year in a bad time when everybody else is going out of business.
You know what's funny is, Steve, is we keep saying, all of the growth, all of the stuff that's happened, everything that we're doing now, really what 2021 is our year. So you ain't seen nothing yet, baby.
That is absolutely amazing. Let's talk real quick about the training real quick. What do you like, if you were to name the best 3 things about the training, what do you think, if you could say the best 3 things, you could narrow it down to the top 3 things about the training. What do you like best about the training?
What do I like best about the training? I'm going to say, if I were to narrow down to top 3 things, let me see if I can come up with 3. Really, it's something new. And I think something exciting. We're going to steal that as number 1.
Okay. I like it.
Number 2, I think the biggest thing that hit me personally, and I know it hit my team, is put it on the list. Is build that list so freaking big. And then that has become part of everything we do. We understand that not every customer can afford those things, and we understand that, there's those. But why not let them know what all we offer? So we, every list, every technician and expert that goes out in the field, they always leave every single option we have. So they've got $25,000, $30,000 list. And it's like Gene said, occasionally it backfires and somebody buys it all.
I hate when that happens. It backfired.
And then the other thing is one of the things that I like about the training, Steve, is when Gene first gets rolling into it, he does what most trainers don't pay attention to. I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, is the mindset thing. Yeah. Mindset is so big, and it's so big in a culture and in your company and your technician's mind, because if they don't have the mindset that these products and services are needed,
yeah,
they won't be able to sell those products, or they're going to feel like they're salesy rather than this is something you need and here's why.
Right.
And the other thing, I guess, if I'm going to add a 4th thing, since I used the little cheesy one as the number 1, okay, is ask good questions. I mean, that's been something that's really been, obviously we all know that's asking questions is huge. But the way Gene laid it out in the training, the way you guys laid it out in the training, Steve, is awesome, because it gives it. He helped give those questions. What would you imagine? What do you think? Would you believe? All of those questions, foundational questions,
thought-provoking questions.
Exactly, foundational questions that any person can do. You don't have to be a communication genius to ask, would you believe?
Right. Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. What about the twice a week dedication that we're on there twice a week for you guys? If somebody wants to pop on there and get live in one-on-one coaching inside the group coaching.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about it is, although it is a virtual training, it's still an experience to be able to, you got, high level trainers in the industry that are willing to give up their time. Obviously we're paying for it, but they could just, I could give you the money. You could just make us watch videos, right? That's what a lot of trainer companies and coaching companies do. Whereas it's live experience. You get to interact directly. It's the next best thing to having those guys come out directly to your site and, spending time with your techs. I actually think there's some better parts about that because let's say, for instance, I had Gene come and do an on-site for me.
Yeah.
If I did that, we get them for 3 or 4 or 5 days and then we're done, right? With this situation, we're in the program for a full year. So at any time I could say, hey, they're doing a live, jump on there and start, interacting with the live again.
Yeah.
So we can continue to go through it, which we do. We have, it's been a while since we've as a group gone on the live, but we actually are playing the teachable. So we're playing some of the teachable videos in our trainings in the mornings. And then we role play and go through the processes.
That is freaking awesome. Now we do have a couple new things on there. You haven't been a part of the 14-day W Sales Challenge. It's included in you should get the whole team on that next one. I promise you, it's 2 weeks, hour first thing in the morning. I'm telling you, it's the foundation. It's the thought-provoking questions all over again. And I think you guys would really like it.
Yeah, I actually, I wanted to find out when is the next one from now to the next 14-day challenge.
Next one's June 1st. If you can put it in your calendar, it's an hour every morning for 2 weeks. I'm telling you, it'll kick everybody in the pants once more. And you're gonna be like, holy shit! You're gonna see sales go up some more.
Well, that's a good thing. The 14-day challenge is something that I felt it would be a good thing for me to throw the ones that didn't go through the full program, and then we can kind of integrate everybody. So I'm probably going to have everybody that did go through the program, but I will probably sign up another group of characters to go in there and do that as well.
Well, if they're in the beta, they get it for free, just so you know. If they're in the beta program, they already get it. It's included in there. At first, we didn't do it that way, but then we put it in there. And one other thing is we have the 21-day money-making morning mindsets. We just released that like a month ago. If you don't have your whole team listening to those money-making morning mindsets, it's free. Just go to our website. Every morning you get a message and a text, and it's a 5 to 10 minute training to keep their mind right. You keep talking about mindset. You're 100% right. Have them go opt into that. I'm telling you, it'll get their mind right first thing in the morning when they're brushing their teeth or feeding the dogs or driving to work.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they'll definitely dig that. Cool. So let me see. Thoughts for that guy, for that HVAC owner or electrical owner, plumber owner, for that guy that's on the fence. He's thinking about, well, I don't know, do I spend the money on this or don't I spend the money on this? What would you tell that guy?
If you're somebody who's sitting on the fence wondering, should you join in the program or is this going to work for me? Just know it's not going to work for you if you don't put in the effort. If you put in the effort, it's going to change your life. That's just the bottom line, right? I mean, whether it's you as a technician or you're an owner who's looking to sign up some technicians, it's going to change your life as a technician and it's going to change your life as a company. Because what would life be like if you made 3 times the money?
People don't think it's possible. They don't really think it's possible until they get in here and they start doing the work. But you're absolutely right. Don't join if you're not going to do the work, right?
Yeah,
put in the work, man. You got to put in the work. Yeah. Well, awesome.
And I know that Steve, you guys, Steve and Gene, you guys, you don't let anybody in if they're not willing to come in and put the work. You just say, hey, you know what? We're not about your credit card. We want to help, right? Yeah. And that's really what another benefit, another great feature too.
Yeah, that's one of the very first things we have to actually interview them, and if they don't answer the questions right and they don't do it a certain way, we don't want them in the training because it's going to take everybody else down. We only want people that have the right mindset, the right attitude. It's
a culture thing.
Yeah, it's a culture.
You can't let the cancer in the culture.
You can't. You cannot. You got to cut that shit out. Speaking of Rich, real quick, I don't know. Have you been pruning from the bottom with your salespeople or your service techs? Are you like, okay, this guy's not doing? You're always doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Could you just spend just a minute on that? Here's what I want. Most owners that we talk to, their number one biggest issue is this. I don't know if I can get my old school guy who's been doing it for 10 years or 20 years to buy into the program. That's one of the excuses that they use. So what do you say to that guy? I mean, we say, look, if you get in the program and he doesn't do it, and you got a young whippersnapper in there that went through we have a 3-week training guide. They can get a guy that doesn't know what HVAC stands for and give him keys to a truck within 3 weeks. I mean, last time we did that, the guy sold 16 grand on his first day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, that's how most of our training, our processes here in the company at OneSource, we do, because there's, who wants to hire that old guy that is stuck in his ways, right?
Yeah. You're losing money when you send him out there for $150 call, right?
And oftentimes he's questioning and battling your processes.
Yeah.
Often, a lot of those guys are cancers to the company.
Yeah.
So we hire a lot of people that are brand new to the industry, never heard of the term HVAC, couldn't point out where the thermostat is, and we send them off to a 1 or 2 week training. We have some training classes that we go to, plus we do our own ride-alongs. And then, enroll them in a sales program and just, hey, let's show you, not a sales program, really. It's a communication program, really, when it all comes down to it.
Yeah.
And let's show you how to communicate with clients. Here's the products and services we offer. And all you got to do is ask some questions and do good. For the guys that are stuck in the mud, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I disagree with that, but the dog's got to be willing to learn.
Right. Absolutely.
So the dog's got to get in the fight and ready to fight.
And if your dog's not willing to learn, what do you do with those guys?
Man, if you got a dog that's not willing to learn, you kind of just got to let them out to pasture.
Yeah,
sometimes it's just that way. It doesn't matter how long they've been with your company.
Yeah.
I know that as an owner, I've let my heart get in the way a lot of times, and I've held on to a guy for way, way, way too long. And when you do that, all you do is bring down your whole culture. And the minute you release that guy out of your company, most often than not, everybody in the company says, man, Scott, thank you so much for letting that guy go. We were wondering when it was going to happen.
Wow.
And you got to cut that cancer. If you let the cancer continue to evolve, look at cancer treatment. It's real, right? If we stop it early, we're good. If it goes further, we got to cut it out somehow or another.
It ain't going to be good if it goes further.
Yeah, you don't want it to get too deep. And the more that cancer gets deep in the company,
the
more that cancer starts taking over your culture, and you can't have it.
Yeah. And then let me ask you another question real quick. I know you're getting new blood in there. How are you finding all these new people?
Man, we advertise all the time to hire. When we're, how we find new people is we're always hiring. It's on every one of my vans. It's on, I've got cards that I give out when I go to Starbucks. Lady hands me my coffee, I hand her a card. Hey, even if I'm not looking for technicians and experts, I'm looking for office people. I'm looking for the next best thing, right?
Yeah.
We have ads running constantly on Indeed. We have ads constantly running in various different magazines and things like that. We're strong hiring in veterans, so and we tell people when we're in the application itself, it's look, you don't have to be a rock star. Let us make you a rock star. Let us train you from the ground to the top, and we'll get you there. You want to make $150,000? We can show you how.
That is awesome. And people don't think it's possible, especially during these trying times. It's crazy. People are just so close-minded oftentimes.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people, in fact, I can't imagine how many don't apply, but a lot of people who do apply say, hey, I just wanted to call to see if this was real. Because there's so many gimmicks out there, But it's like, it absolutely is real. Here, I'll show you the numbers for my top 5 guys. and it's not, look, Steve, my top 5 guys aren't anything special. They're people who are dedicated to doing what they do. Don't get me wrong, I love my guys, but they're dedicated to what they do. They're dedicated to the cause. They go through the process and they follow the process and get the job done.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so is there anything else about the training you'd like to share with some guy who might be new, who's thinking about it or something like that, as far as getting his team on board? Any other things you can think of?
The only really thing I can think of is that comes to the top of my. Everything that when I think of Service Tech Secrets, I think of put it on the list, and I think they should put the program on their list, because I think that'll be the first list that they create. That'll be the best, the biggest changer for their life.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Scott, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you being here. This interview has been absolutely amazing. I'm so happy for you and your team, and I can't wait to see how this year ends up for you guys, because it sounds like you're going to blow some numbers off the map.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. We can't wait. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Hey, everybody. It's Steve Young, co-founder of Service Tech Secrets. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that little red button. Down below this video, you'll see a little button that says Show More. Click on Show More, and you'll see a ton of free resources in there to change your lives, your family's lives, and your company's profits. We'll see you in the next video.